Title: At the family party, my mom texted, "Locks changed, you have no home." I read the message in silence and smiled. 2 days later, their lawyer called me saying, "We need to fix this, urgently." Start? I read the message in silence and smiled. Not because it didn't hurt, no, it cut deeper than any knife. But because in that moment, I realized the game had shifted. They thought they had cornered me. They had no idea I'd been watching, waiting, preparing. 2 days later, their lawyer called me, "We need to fix this, urgently. Call immediately." That was my proof. My silence had already cost them more than they imagined. I wasn't always their enemy. I used to believe blood meant loyalty. My mother's laugh was once my safe place. My father's advice, my compass. Family dinners, family secrets, family pride, that's what I grew up on. I trusted them with everything. I defended them when others whispered. I carried their weight when they stumbled. And still, they chose betrayal over love. It began small, a cousin whispering, "They said you're ungrateful." Money missing from the account I managed with my father. Paperwork filed in my name without my signature. I brushed it aside, told myself, family doesn't betray family. Until that night. The party was loud, lights burning gold across the living room. I had just set my glass down when the vibration in my pocket broke the noise. A message from my mother. "Locks changed, you have no home." Not a word spoken to my face, just a text, cold, final. I looked across the room. She was laughing, holding her wine like nothing had changed. My father beside her, nodding at some joke. Everyone else, oblivious. I smiled. Not at them, at myself. Because the message wasn't an ending, it was permission. I didn't leave that party angry, I left quiet. While they toasted to themselves, I started building. I pulled records, old contracts, bank transfers, loan agreements. I remembered conversations where my father boasted about hiding money in places no one could trace. I already knew where to look. A month of silence, no confrontation, just surveillance. Emails, phone logs, photographs of meetings. Every secret they thought they'd buried, I unearthed. And then I prepared the cage. A trust they couldn't touch. Assets rerouted. A lawyer who owed me a favor. Quiet signatures, notarized in offices they'd never step into. Every time I replayed that text, "Locks changed, you have no home," I added another brick to their prison. I didn't go for the heart first, I went for the nerves. A small freeze on one of their accounts, a clerical error that delayed a payment, a letter from the tax office hinting at an audit. Nothing big enough to scream attack, just enough to make them restless. I knew them. I know how quickly panic bred mistakes. When they finally noticed, they blamed each other. I didn't need to lift a finger. I only had to watch. 2 days after the party, their lawyer called me, voice tight, urgent. "We need to fix this, urgently. Call immediately." Fix what? The property deed I'd shifted out of their hands? The silent partner who had suddenly withdrawn? The insurance claim I'd blocked with a single document? They tried to corner me legally. But every step they took, they walked into paperwork I had already laid down months before. It wasn't rage, it was math. And the numbers were mine. The real moment came not in a courtroom, not in some dramatic showdown, but over dinner. Another family gathering. Same house, same laughter. I walked in uninvited. The room froze. My mother's smile cracked. My father's jaw tightened. "You don't belong here," he muttered. I set the envelope on the table. Inside, proof of their debts, their forged signatures, their illegal transfers. Copies already in the hands of people who mattered. "I don't belong here," I said quietly. "This house, this name, this legacy. You tried to erase me, but it's already mine." My mother's hand shook. My father's eyes flicked to the papers. And for the first time, I saw fear. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I leaned closer so only they could hear. "You texted me. You have no home. Now it's you who has nowhere left to stand." The news spread fast. Bankruptcy whispered in the same circles where they once bragged. Properties seized, lawyers circling like vultures. Cousins who once clung to them now avoided their calls. Their lawyer tried one last desperate negotiation. I declined, politely. The locks they changed shut them out instead. I don't regret it. Betrayal demands balance. They thought I'd break quietly in the dark. Instead, I cut the power to their entire kingdom. When I stand outside that house now, I don't see a home. I see a tomb they built with their own arrogance. The last time my mother looked at me, her lips trembled, searching for words. I gave her none. Silence was the final gift, because silence was where my revenge began.